Well, great to be back on CBN Media Sports Extra on YouTube. And like I was doing, always ready to serve you the best of sports and content. I'll be looking at the two Spanish teams that suffered elimination from the UEFA Champions League, FC Barcelona and their rivals Real Madrid. For Barcelona fans, I think it is high time they forget about this fantasy or obsession of winning the Champions League again. The last time they won it was in 2015, and if you have to look at the quality they had at their disposal, you cannot compare it to the current crop of players in the Barcelona team. For Lionel Messi to win the UEFA Champions League for a third time at Barcelona, technically for a third time at Barcelona, they brought in Luis Suarez, Alberto Diaz. They brought in Neymar dos Santos Jr. Iniesta was still around. Rakitic was also signed alongside the old legs in Xavi, in Piqué, Dani Alves, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Charlie, just reflect on the contribution, on the quality of those players, and you think you can win the Champions League again with an 18-year-old as the kingpin of the team, as the face of the team. When Barcelona won it in 2006, Lionel Messi was a youngster around same age. But Lionel Messi played with Ronaldinho, with Iniesta, with Eto'o, with Larsen. When Messi became the Messi that we know as an all-time great in 2009, in 2011, they brought David Villa in 2011. Even in 2009, they had Eto'o, they had Henry, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, Yaya Toure, Puyol, Valdez. Just look at the quality and you think you can win the Champions League again with Gerard Martin, Pau Kubasi. Who else? You name them. Jules Koundé, Balde, Rashford, an old Lewandowski with Lamine Yamal. I think the pressure you guys are giving your team is too much, and it is not fair. You don't expect too much from this Barcelona team in the UEFA Champions League unless you are living in a fantasy world. But truth be told, this Barcelona team is not there yet, and they don't have it. In terms of quality, they need to do a lot before they can win the UEFA Champions League again. You want to go into the most prestigious competition in club football and you want to win it with Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal as your kingpin, and you think it is possible, you think other teams will watch you do it. Unless you want to tell me now the Champions League is a joke of a competition. Unless you want to tell me that. So for Barcelona, they need to do more. They need to sign quality players that will support Lamine Yamal. They need to work on their defense. Charlie, there is still a lot to do. Even Lionel Messi was not doing it alone. How much more Lamine Yamal? Messi had Henry when he won it in 2009, had Eto'o. in 2011, had Pedro, had who else? David Villa. Charlie, so stop giving Yamal too much pressure. Yamal is not even there. He's still on the ropes. He's still on the ropes. The absence of Rafinha is something you guys should sit down and discuss, because he's one player who is efficient in attack. I think he is the most efficient player for Barcelona. Yamal is good with the dribbling, will give you that sweet, delicious passes. But when it comes to finishing in the attacking third, the absence of Rafinha really affected Barcelona. So, hey, you guys need to sign quality players for the Yamals, for the Rafinhas, and work on your defense. This team is too weak to win the UEFA Champions League. Now, on Real Madrid, see, Madrid, they know their problem. And it is so surprising that they are not ready to fix their problem. You can't begrudge them because they are the most successful team in the UEFA Champions League. So when you are dealing with them, you need to deal with them with a little bit of care and patience. Probably they know what they are doing, because it's obvious that they are yet to replace Toni Kroos. That is why their midfield lacks fulcrum, lacks balance. And in defense, the absence of Thibaut Courtois on a scale of 10 is like having 4/10 without Courtois. And if Madrid is involved in the UEFA Champions League knockout stage without Courtois, it's like 4/10. Not the Madrid of old, the current Real Madrid. Because of old, they had quality, much more quality. Kroos, Luka Modric, players who have been there, players who have played at the big stage. But with this current Real Madrid team, Charlie, if not for the history, if not for the positivity and that relationship the team has with the UEFA Champions League, I do not think the quarter-final stage would have been achievable. It was the name Real Madrid that was pushing the team. It was the name that was pushing the team, because they don't have balance in attack. Mbappe and Vini is a problem. They don't have that balance. They don't know when to assist each other. And Mbappe is always moving to Vini's end. They don't have a focal point of attack, someone that Mbappe can feed on. Mbappe will give you the goals, but when he lacks presence, someone that he can work his way through, whatever Mbappe will do in the attacking third will not amount to anything. It won't amount to any meaningful trophy. We saw him with France. He was working his magic through the Giroud and goal. He needs that to thrive. He needs that to thrive. But at Madrid, he's always competing with Vini at Vini's end. And just look at their midfield, how weak their midfield is. And look at the defense. If not for Militao, they would have conceded more than 5 against Bayern. If not for Militao, Charlie, the 4 was not even more. They would have conceded 5 or 6 if not for Militao. So the two Spanish teams, Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, you guys need to do a lot before you can win the Champions League again. For Real Madrid, They've won it and won it and won it and won it. So as for Real Madrid, we can put them somewhere. Barcelona, it's been a long time since you guys lifted the UEFA Champions League. That was in 2015. And you can look at the quality that was at your disposal in 2015 and compare it to the quality you have currently. Flick is doing a tremendous job with Barcelona. But hey, that high line is too much. That high line. I think Barcelona's best chance of claiming the UEFA Champions League was last season against Inter Milan. But because of the obsession of scoring more, because they lacked maturity on the field of play, because their coach is too offensive oriented, always wants to punish the opposition. That is why they missed out and eventually they lost to Inter Milan.